Hi everyone, welcome to Jawaras. Let's continue working on personal blog project. The project is listed on roadmap.sh website and I will put the link in the description. In the previous video, we were able to create a new article. So we rendered this template or this form to create a new article, and whenever we click on save, a new article was getting created, and we were able to see that article as well. And we fixed a couple of things as well where we were not able to show the new lines in the content of the article, and also we were not escaping the HTML content. So we fixed both of these problems in the previous article. So if I show you what we have till now, let me do docker ps. So the database container is running and I am connected to that container in this database viewer as well. So we have these many articles. So if I go to .env file, so we don't need to run our application with initdb active profile because we already have data and we don't want to generate new dummy data. So I will just go here. I will start my application, and in the another terminal, I will run this npm run build and npm run watch command. Okay, so that is running now. Let's go here and new incognito window. Let's go to 8080 and we see these articles. Now you can see now we have these new lines in the articles. Earlier we were not able to see these. So now we can see different paragraphs. The second article, we can see this paragraph as well. So this is the one thing which is fixed. The another thing was you can see now we are able to see the tags as it is in the HTML content. Earlier we were not escaping it. So this text was printed as a bold text, and this text was not visible in the UI, but we were getting one alert you are hacked, and that was not correct. So we fixed these two issues. And if I go to admin, or even if I go to new, then also I am being asked to log in. So I will just log in as admin, and we can see this create new article form here. Because if I go to source, main, Java, article, web, and article controller, we can see that in order to go to admin page, you should have admin role, and in order to go to the new page, you should have admin role. But in order to send post request, there is no authorization as such. So I will add pre-authorize here as well with the same role as admin. So that is fine. This form was working. This reset and save both buttons were working. Now I want to let's go to admin. We are in home page. Whenever we click on this edit button, I want to be able to edit the form. So let's click on edit button and see what happens. First of all, I will click on inspect network and let's click on I scanner darkly edit. You can see there is no route for it. So articles, edit, and then the article ID. And this is a get request because we are clicking on a link. First of all, we need to create controller for that. So let's create the controller. I will add, okay, so what articles, then edit, and then the article ID. So I will create this one here. I will say get mapping to articles. Then, so instead of having articles, then edit, then article ID, what I want is articles, then the article ID, and then edit. So articles, let's say ID and then edit. And here as well, I want the user to have admin role in order to visit this page. And let's say public string edit article form, and we will have this ID path variable, and we are converting it to article ID. And since we already have this string to article ID converter, so this string will be converted to our article ID automatically. And then we have this model here. And we are getting one article here. And then we are setting edit mode as edit mode dot edit. So let's do update here. So now edit mode is update. And we are putting this article here, which we are getting from the article service. And we already have this template. So let's save it and restart the server. And let's go back. First of all, we need to, send the user to correctly. Is let's go into articles. Then, okay, since we clicked on the article, we want to click on edit. So it is articles, edit, and then the article ID. We need to fix that. For that, I will just go to admin.html, articles admin.html, and this is edit. So I want to put this edit after the article ID. I will, cut it, and after the article ID, I will just say edit, save it, and reload it again. Click on edit. Now we are able to go to the this update article page. Now here you can see we are displaying update article instead of create article, and that is because if I go to article.html, sorry, edit.html, then first of all you see here we have update article because we are rendering this title conditionally. So if the edit mode is create, then create article, otherwise update article. Let's make it new article and update article. Similarly, we have this h1 here as well. If it is create mode, then we will say new article, otherwise I will say update article. That is fine. So if I reload it now, we are getting the articles detail here. But we don't want to just pass around the article in the controller and view. I want to create a new class for that. Same as we created a new class for this one, create article form data. I want to create a class called edit article form data. Now edit article form data will have all these attributes, title, published date, content, and that will have one additional attribute called and ID of the article, and also version of the article as well. So what we can do is we can extend this create article form data, but I don't want to do that because let's say later down the line, if we have some validation which should be run only on create article form data, not on edit article form data. But if edit article form data is child of create article form data, then the validation will run on create article form data, sorry, edit article form data as well. We don't want that. So what we can do is we can create a one new abstract class which will be parent of both create article form data and edit article form data. Let's do that. I will create a new Java file. This will be a class and let's call it article form data. And I will cut everything from create article form data. I will cut it and I will put it here. But since this is the abstract class, we cannot have any constructor here. I will remove the constructor and that is it. Now let's go to create article form data. Here we cannot use title because title is a private field. Instead, we will use get title. But for that, we need to extend article form data. Now we can say get title and get published date, and we can say get content. And we don't need these imports anymore because they have been moved to article form data. So that is it. that should work. And here we have no arc constructor by default. Okay, but I think we need to create no arc constructor here. But okay, that is not necessary because the default value is null, so it doesn't matter. But we can validate that. We can just restart the server and we can go back, reload this page, click on new, and I will say this should be visible. Let's put some publish date and write some content. This article should be visible. Is it? Yes. No. Click on save. It has been saved and this should be visible. Let's go here. Okay. So it is working fine. So this is necessary to see whether the changes are working fine or not. So in process of adding new feature, we don't want to disrupt the existing features. Now let's create a new Java file here. It will be a class obviously, and I will call it edit article form data, and this will extend article form data. Now ID won't be long. First of all, we need private string ID because the ID which will be passed around from controller to view will be in a string format. It can be in article ID format as well, but this string will work, and we will have private long version. Okay, let's create getter for them, get ID and get version. We don't want to create setter for them just yet because we will create that whenever we need that. Now here let's create one constructor. So what will happen is let's go to article controller. Here we have this article which we are getting from article service using this article ID. Now we want to convert this article in edit article form data. So let's do that here. Instead of article, it will be edit article form data dot from article and this article. So now we need to create this method there. So let's say create this method. The method has been created. Okay, here it is. And I will just, like complete this method. We are creating a new form data, new edit article form data, and we are putting the ID. ID will be article.getID.as string. Then version will be article.getVersion. Then we are setting the title, publish date, and content. And then we are just returning the form data. So we will have this form data and I will just save it. Let's go to article controller. Let's restart it. So this has been restarted. I will reload the page and I will click on edit here. And we can see some error 500. Let's see why are we getting this error. Yeah, so the issue can be, I guess, if we go to edit.html and in the th action, we are doing article.id.as string, but we should not do that now because id is already of type string. Uh, that should work. Let's just save it, reload it. Okay, so we can see the title here. We can see this published date, but it is not being populated. So we will fix that as well. What is the case? element, form, this is the title, this is published date, its value is 22/04/2024. So I think that may be the problem, because if its value is, let's say, 2024 04 and 22, then it will work. So we need to change this date format. We will do that later. So that's nothing to worry about. So the publish date uh, is fine. Then we can see the content as well, and this is the new line. So we can edit the content. Let's edit the content. So I will say updated and publish date. I will mark this one as publish date. Let's go to today. So the publish date is today, and I will say updated content. This is updated content. Okay, let's click on save. Go to network, click on save, and you can see the request. This is a post request to localhost 8080 articles, and then this article ID. Okay, so we have post request to this endpoint. Let's handle that because we have not created this handler for this endpoint. So I will create that here. I will say post mapping, and it is two articles ID, articles, and then the article ID. This is string here, but since we have our string to article ID converter, we can accept it as article ID, and we use the pre-authorize. I will say public string update article, and we have few things. First of all, we have path variable ID, and I am accepting it as article ID. Then we have validated model attribute article, edit article form data, and this is the binding result. If we have any error, will be captured here. If we have any error in the binding results, then we will display the same form again, and edit mode will be update. Otherwise, we will ask article service to update the article. First of all, we need to create these two parameters. Similarly, if you see here, we have create article parameters. Similarly, we have update article parameters as well. So let's create those. I will create new Java file. This will be record, and it will be update article parameters. And it will have few things. First of all, it will have article ID. We don't need to give article ID. So let's leave that. Let's give title, local date, published date, and then string content. After that, we will have long version. Uh, I don't think version will be required, but let's keep it. So these are the parameters to update the article. So let's go here and create this method. I will say create method, two parameters. It has been created in the edit article form data. Instead of object, it should be update article parameters. So let's implement this method. We will return new update article parameters. We don't want to get ID, title, publish date, content, and version. That is fine. Now let's go to article controller. We need to create this method in the article service. Let's do that. So this has been created an article service, update article method. It has article ID and then update article parameters. First of all, we will get the article from the database with the given ID, whether it exists or not. So if you see here, we have this get article by ID. If the article is not present, we are throwing article not found exception and we are handling that. So let's do that. I will say where article will be get article by ID. We have the article. If it is not exist, then that will be handled automatically. We don't need to do anything else. Now we need to check the version, whether the version which we are getting from the database of the article is same with the version which we are receiving. For that, what we can do is if article dot get version is not equal to parameters dot version, in that case we will throw one error which will be object optimistic locking failure exception. There we need to provide some message. So what it expect is message. So if we are throwing a new error, we are specifying the class and the ID. So we will be able to know that uh, for article class, for this ID, we have the object optimistic locking failure exception. That means someone else has already modified what you are trying to modify. So you need to reload. So you need to fetch that again from the database and then you need to submit a new head. So that is fine. Okay. Now, now after that, if the version is matching, then we need to update it. So what we can do is we can use the parameters itself. Parameters dot. We will update it with the article. Now let's create this method. Yeah, this update article parameter. Here I will create that method. So we will set the title, publish date, and content for the article. We don't need to set the version because that will be handled by database automatically. And okay, I guess we are finished here. So we can update the article. And after updating the article, we will just redirect it to admin page. And we have pre-authorized. That is important. So restart the server, and I will go here. Let's go back and click on edit. We can edit it. I will say updated. Let's say publish date today, and here I can say updated content. Click on save. If we reset, if we click on reset, then you can see it will reset to the original content. It won't clear out the form. This will just reset whatever it received earlier. Now updated, and I can say updated content, and today click on save. Okay, now we send this request, this one, where this was the payload, and we should see that content updated or something updated. Click on this one, and we can see updated content. One thing which I can show you in the database is, let's refresh it. This is the updated content, and you can see the version is 1. So if someone read our title again, then the version will be 1. And now I will show you the example of this object optimistic lock exception. So if I go here, this object optimistic locking failure exception. What I will do is I will open the same link, or let's click on this one, second article in a row. I will click on edit here, and I will open the same link in a new tab. Okay. Now both of these added article found data has the same version, which is version 0. And let's try to modify it. First of all, I will give it some date. Let's say 5, and I will just say modify, and I will say updated once, and I will click on save here. Now it has been updated. If we go to the database, refresh, you can see this one, second article is also updated once, and its version is 1. But for this edit article form data, the version is still 0, because this was fetched before updating the article. So now if I submit another, let's say updated second time, and I can say update, and whatever is the content, click on save. Now we can see white label error page, server status 500. And if I go here, so we are seeing this error because we are not handling that object optimistic locking failure exception. So let's see here, and let's see what we are getting. The servlet.service for servlet through exception, request processing failed, object optimistic locking failure exception. And since there was no handler for this error, that's the reason we got this white label error page. So in the error, I will create a new file. I will call it 409.html. I will copy code from here, and I will paste it here. And we can see the object you are trying to modify has been modified by someone else, and go back to home page. Let's save it, submit the form again. Okay, we don't see anything happening here. Let's click on save. Again, we are getting for 500. Okay, let's click on edit for this one again, and I will copy this link, paste it here. Okay, let's update it. Okay, we are getting 500. Now, why are we getting 500 now? We are again getting object optimistic locking failure exception. But I don't know why we are getting this error again. Click on save. If I refresh it here, okay, its version is 1. That is correct. If I go to create article form data, sorry, edit article form data. We have version here. Form data dot version equal to article dot get version. Okay, I will click create one breakpoint here. Let's click on edit here. So what is the value of article dot get version? Article version is 1. So that is fine. So the version of form data is also 1. Okay. Now let's add one breakpoint here. Article controller. I will add one breakpoint here. Let's say twice. Save. Okay, we need to fill out this one today. Save. Here if you see the data, the version is 0. Okay, so this is happening because we don't have this version in the form. So if I go back to edit.html here we need to have one hidden field for version as well. So let's do that. I will say input type will be hidden, ID will be version, name will also be version, and th field will be version, and I will say th if mode dot name equal to update. Let's save it and let's go back, click on inspect, then network, sorry, elements. This is the form, this is title. No, okay, we have this hidden. Let's reload it. Why don't we see version? We should be able to see if edit mode dot name equal to update. If it is create article ID, and inside form we have this input. Only if edit mode dot name is equal to update and type is hidden, its ID is version, name is version, and th field star version. Okay, let's go here again, reload it. When we see only one input field here, another one is title and something else. Click on edit. Why are why aren't we seeing that version? We can see this hidden form. Okay, let's say 22. Click on network and save. And here you can see in the payload, we are not sending the version at all. But we should be able to send that. Is it because we have not specified its type? Type is hidden. ID version, name version, th field, version. Why is it not working? Saved it. Let's restart the server. And after that, I will just go here. Let's go to here. Still, we are CNC type hidden for CSRF. But do we need to provide value as well? Let's see here. What we are doing: templates, users, edit.html, phif, edit mode, update, field, version type hidden. Copy it. I will paste it here. Input th if equal to edit mode dot name. Okay, equal to update. Let's remove it, save it. Okay, but okay, let's see if we are actually sending the edit mode or not. Yeah. So article controller here, then we are sending edit mode as update, and as well as here as well, we are sending edit mode as update, update and update. Okay, save it and let's refresh it. Okay, now we can see input type, hidden ID, version name, version, and its value is 1. Now if we do something, let's say 12, click on save. Now let's go here. Okay, we were sending version as well now. So now what is the error? Now why are we getting the error? Again, we are getting optimistic locking failure exception. Okay, let's go to article controller. Then here we are saying post mapping here. Let's add breakpoint here and yep, let's save it again. We are here in the data. The version is still 0. Version is still 0. Now that doesn't make any sense. So let's do this. We'll go back. Let's go to admin again and let's click on edit here and 5. Okay, and let's click on save. Click on what is in the data. In the data, version is 0, but in the request we have version as 1. Version as 1, but here we have version 0. Okay, so the issue is that in the edit article form data we don't have setter for version. So let's say set id and set version. Okay, so to that I will restart the server, because if there is no setter for version, then whatever data is coming from the UI won't be able to we won't be able to assign that to the version. So that might be the problem. Now let's submit it again. Okay, now you can see we are sending the version here, and here also the version is 1. Okay, and you can see it says updated once, but it has been updated twice. We can verify that by going here, click on refresh. Okay, click on refresh. No, it should have been true, no? Like, I don't know, like, let's reconnect it. refresh. I don't understand why is it not working. Seems to be working because we are not getting any error as well. Version should have been 2. Let's click on edit, update it twice, and that's it. 27 January 2025. Guys, save it. Now we can see updated twice here, but if we refresh it, okay, now it says updated twice, modified twice, and 27/1/2025. Version is 2. Yeah, I don't see like there was some error. It was not able to update it. Now it is updating it correctly. Let's go to edit here, and I will just copy it here as well. Now both have same version, which is version 1, and let's say thrice, and today click on save. It has been saved. Let's go to database, refresh, version is 3. But the version is still 2 for this. Click on inspect network. Let's say 13 or 4, and I will click on save here. Okay, so the version is still 2 here, and that is not good. But still, we are seeing this error, but we want to actually handle this one. So let's go to infrastructure and sorry, yeah, infrastructure. In the infrastructure, create a new Java package web, and inside web, I will create a new Java file, and I will say global controller advice. So you can see global controller advice. This will be a controller advice, and it will handle object optimistic locking failure exception and data integrity violation exception. And okay, and we it will just display this whatever is inside 409.html page. Let's create that. So I will create controller advice, and here I will say exception handler, and so we will provide two exceptions: data integrity violation exception. So dot class and object optimistic locking failure exception dot class, and it will have response status of conflict. That is fine. Now let's say public. What do we need to return? Public model and view. Okay, let's just copy it. Public model and view. It will handle conflict. So this is the request. This is the exception. We will create a new model and view using this view name 409.html inside error, and we will just add this attribute URL, and which will be request.get request URL, and we will return model and view. Okay, and let's see what we are doing here in 409.html. We are using error dot something, request.url or something. Okay, let's say we don't need to uh, display the URL or anything because the user know what he's trying to edit. I'll just restart the server. Okay, and now let's submit it again. Let's to cancel it. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we can see this. Let's click on edit and I will duplicate it. Now here, let's say 6, here I will say 4, 4, save. So it has been saved. But now if we try to modify it, let's say 5, 5, publish date is 6 here. I will set publish date as let's say 7 and inspect network, click on save. Now you can see the object you are trying to modify has been modified by someone else and you need to go back to home page. And if I see here, the status code is 409 conflict. And do we have something else as well? No, we don't have anything else. Go back to home page and we can go to the home page. So that is it. And this is working. But one thing which is not working is whenever we click on edit, we don't see the published date here. So let's try to fix that. Application.properties. Let's see if there is something for date format is spring.mbc.date. MVC is Spring MVC format date. So I don't want to say y ddmmyyy. I will say yyyymdd yyyy because this is the format which the HTML that data expects. Save it and we need to obviously restart the server and I will go back, click on edit again. Okay, and we can see the publish date has been populated with the correct publish date and we can modify it and we can do whatever we want to do. Even if you click on reset, it is still working. So that is it. So that's how we edit the article. Let me click on it again. We have update article here. We have update article here. Title, publish date, and this is the content of the article. I will just go back. Let's see if the new one is working or not. This is a new article. This title. Yeah, because since this is a new article, we modified the date format. So it's good idea to validate whether the creation of the article is working or not. I will new article to check and I will provide some date. Let's say 27 January 2025. This is sample content. This is another line gaps of two lines and I will say b tag. Click on save and new article to check is working correct. January 27, 2025. Let's go back. Click on edit. January 27, 2025. Update it to January 21. Click on save. New article to check. January 21, 2025. So this all of this is working fine. So we are able to edit any existing article. Now in the next video, we will try to delete the existing article. And that's all for this video. If you found this video to be useful or if you think you learned something new, then please like the video and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet I will see you in the next video. Until then,